looked at it, I laughed, and I almost sent him, hey, you know what? If you do write to anybody, I'm kicking your fucking ass out of Spill. I'm kicking you out of my house. All right? You don't tell none of my fucking members what to do. I tell them what to do.
Not you. Just taking over everything.
Not you, shithead. No.
King of the world over here.
But, that kid sound like Eric the Midget.
He is my Eric the Midget. No. But that guy hasn't messed with me in so long.
No, I know he's still
man,
he's a good guy. He posts a lot of cool things. I don't want to.
No, he does.
Because he gets. I would say this. Movie like you're very sensitive. That's all. And I don't want you to get mad. As you know, we mess with everybody on here. But because we had a talk. I mean, years ago, and he's going to get mad about this, but I'll just give you a quick history. Years ago, I posted, this is how it started. I posted a review for VeggieTales.
Yeah.
And
it's already. I love the way this is starting already.
No. And he's gonna get mad. I'm sorry, movie lord. I love you, man. I'm not trying to.
Hey, are you dating him?
Yes.
Oh, what? So, what does it matter?
No, because man, look, I'm not here to pick on anybody. I like these
love
members are what makes this site. So I'm not here to fuck with anybody.
No,
I'm not. I don't kick off anybody, even people that make me mad. I don't kick them off. I'm real patient with people. I lost it one time and I apologized. Mm-hmm. But he came on and I was very patient with him. Never lost it. But he said, I posted a review for VeggieTales and it was a matinee and he just came at me. He said, you take that shit down right now because that shit is fucking bad and I don't like this. And if you don't take it down, I'm leaving. And I was like, and I was very nice about it. I was like, hey man, I hate to lose you, but if
you would,
hey man, I would. Look, I'm very nice to people on here. You know, you got to be diplomatic, man. You can't go chasing people off. You can't. I mean,
of course, it's just funny to me, like these people who seem mild mannered, but then they go off like crazy. But then you get guys like Chick Chomp and Predator. I never have a problem with them. Love those guys.
Oh yeah, and
those guys rule.
Yeah. They're the harshest on everybody else, but
and they can be. And that's
they're
fine.
Smart.
Members can be harsh on each
other,
but
they do things
look,
the right way.
If you come in, Ken stirs up. But you know, the thing is that you have to like create an air of you have to be an example. You can't go crazy like these people. You have to like create an air of, okay, everybody respects each other here. If you fuck up, you come in and talk to people. That's why people are kind of cool here. Because I don't come on here telling people, when you get the fuck out there, you know what I mean? Like, so
I haven't done it yet.
I told him, I just said, hey, look, man. I said, listen, this is why I did this. This is why I gave this review. I'd hate to lose you, so please stick around, you know? And he's like, that's not good enough. I demand that you take this down now. And I was like, hey, listen, man. I said, you really are trying my patience, but if you got to go. I'm not changing anything, okay? Because my first impulse was to say, who the fuck you talking to? You know what I mean? But I was like, nah. It's like the kid is cool. He just, you know what I mean? He's probably.
Corey,
I mean, come on. No, look, we're talking about probably a 14, 15-year-old kid, man.
Hey, but even a 15-year-old kid, he has to be told, hey, the shit you're pulling, it ain't cool, all right? I ain't here to wipe nobody's ass. I mean, I'm here because if one guy's fucking up everyone else's fun, then that's a problem. I would tell you, hey, get him the fuck out.
No, I wouldn't do that.
If he's cursing or whatever.
No, you can't do that. You really do have to come in and like say, hey, look, I'm talking to you. Right. This is how we are with people. Right. And actually, he was really cool for a while. Now, it didn't happen again until we did the review for Get Smart. And at the end, at the end, Carlisle was crying. He emailed me and said, he said, you know what? How dare you make Carlisle cry like that? What do you think you're doing? I was like, I'm Jesus, man. Not to ruin the illusion, but you know it's a fucking joke.
These are the jokes, folks.
Yeah, it's like, come on, what are you talking about? Yeah. He's like, that's what he says. Carlisle's my friend, and you can't treat him like that. I was like, well, for one thing, I did fucking treat him like that, and another thing, it was a joke, and another. Yeah. Have you two hung out with each other? Right. Do you know him? Yeah. Have you had dinner with him? I was like, get fucking real, man. Right?
I love how Corey gets so angry when he's talking about this.
I was just like, but he's at that point.
Hey, he's a good guy. We're still
it was at that point where it's like, hey, man. I was like, all right, hey, that's cool. You know, it's like I'm just telling you, I'm being a little more forceful here, but it's like, you know, settle down. This is what happened. All right, I'm glad you're being protective. It's okay. Right. And then he's like, all right, he came back. He's like, look, I'm sorry, man. He did apologize. Right. Every time it happened, you talk to him. He's come back and he said, I'm sorry. And then there was something that happened later where I brought up the VeggieTales thing, and he's like, yeah, I'm matured since then, and I don't do that anymore. and I was like, okay. I said, that's cool. I said, that's great, man. He's like, because that's what he says. So, man, why you bringing that up? He's like, I've learned a lot from back then, and I've really matured now. I was like, well, that's cool, man. I said, now you're living his
6 months of his life.
Yeah, I was like, hey, man, you know, I said, but you know, we're joking. So I'm glad you matured, and that's cool. And he's like, yeah, I have. He said, thanks for noticing. I was like, all right. Next thing I know, Fwapa, the guy named Fwapa, who's from France. Actually, a cool guy. I've talked to him a few times. He puts up a really good review for The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah.
It's a very critical, bad review of the movie.
Yeah.
After I've learned, and I'm more mature now. He comes in, he's like, fuck you. How dare you talk about that movie? That movie's good. You know what the fuck you're talking about. Bob was like, hey, man, look, I just told you my opinion. I'm sticking with it. If you don't like it, then...
I demand you take this review.
And Predator came in and said, quit fucking whining. I get out of here. So I said, well, that situation took care of itself. I don't have to say anything. But that's why I was wondering if he was one that got mad about you.
So he's still being an annoying prick.
No, look, right? I'm not going to say it was him. I honestly can't remember who it was.
Okay.
I had to give the wrong person credit.
I'm just saying, people, look, I'm patient.
You are patient, to a fault.
No, not to a fault, because, hey, man, look,
look,
this is a business. I mean, look, if you're going to, as friendly, I'm also friendly. I am nice. And I'm, like I say, if I'm going to run this shit, you got to create an air of responsibility. Right. That's why I really was disappointed in myself when I came in. And MDS is a nice guy. That's why that's why I was so upset when I came in.
Man. Yeah, me and MDS were getting into it for a while, I think.
He's a good guy, man. And he writes great posts. And I would say that actually him and I were both at fault, because we both went off on something that we probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But I'm more at fault for not coming in and sticking to whatever my creed is, whatever my rules are, whatever code I go by. And I actually wrote back and said, hey, man, that was shit in me to do that. I should have came in and just said, hey, no need to throw names. Or just ignore it. You know? So
hey, if you want to babysit that guy, go for it.
Hey, man, that's what happens when you run a site. You got to babysit a lot of people.
Well, but like I said, I mean,
and you know what? I'll tell you something about MDS. He actually welcomed me back and everything. I mean, I feel like that guy's a true friend.
I don't have any problem with MDS. Yeah, I mean, just with the movie lord thing. Yeah, I'm not crazy. Yeah, we're gonna have, if he were gone, we're gonna get somebody else just like him. And I'm not.
That's you talking. You and I disagree on that, because I don't feel that way. I do think I don't belittle anybody else.
That's people for you. I mean, this is one guy leaves, and there's always gonna be somebody to come in to start up the same shit. I don't think it's as important when people are like cursing at each other as far as, hey, I don't like your opinions or whatever. They're always gonna be there. But I think at some point you got to say, hey, you know what? You're almost ruining everyone's else enjoyment. You're the one.
But you know what?
You're the
doesn't ruin it.
But the thing is, I mean, I'm not saying it is ruining. I'm just saying, like, hey, you should tell that guy, hey, you need to calm down. Seriously, I don't know how long you want to babysit him. But it's like,
see, it's not babysitting. If I was on there every day telling him that, it's not. Man. No, it's customer service, man. In a way, it's like, hey, look, you have to sit down and you have to, like I said, you got to be patient with people. Yeah. Now, if there was somebody who was on the site, because I'm gonna tell you something good about Movie Lord. He is a contributor. He comes in, he contributes stuff. Right. He is cool with people. He just loses it sometimes. Maybe he's got a bad temper. I don't know what his deal is, but
so everyone else should pay.
But he's not somebody who's coming on here and just starting trouble. He's somebody that actually he adds to the site. I mean, these are isolated incidences. I mean, these happen like, maybe about 6 months apart, and it's only been 3.
He's somebody. Been him.
No. What are you talking about? How many people he's had who's been crazy?
As far as I thought you were talking about his incidents where he does this every 6 months.
There's people that I like more. I'm saying that there are people who are probably. I like more is not it. There are people who I probably interact with more, who I see doing stuff more. But Movie Lord comes in, he's quiet most of the time. Right. He contributes stuff. He's a good guy. Right. It just something throws him off every now and then. Why are you doing that?
Because y'all talking about this for too long.
I know we have a tendency to do that, but he's somebody who's cool. I'll let this part, but he's cool. Let me just.
Let me clarify. I don't hate the guy. I mean, I had that one problem with him a long time ago, but I'm not gonna lie. It does annoy me when people like him are giving everybody such a hard time, especially when they're doing what he's doing. Those same people that he's attacking, they're doing the same thing he's doing as far as contributing to the site. And I'd hate for anyone to have to deal with that, to go, you know what? This site is nothing. This site is just filled with kids that like talking shit. And I put up something and I get this negative comment. Nobody cares.
But you know what you said?
I'm gone.
But I'll just end it with this, because we do have to move on. Yeah. Well, you said that if he goes, somebody else is going to come in. Well, same thing with somebody who causes shit. If he goes, somebody else is going to come in doing the same thing. It's the internet.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I said.
Well, you're saying you made it sound like somebody better who's going to come in, like somebody who's not causing trouble.
No. I say for all these guys that come in and start shit, there's always going to be somebody else to come in and fill the shoes. But my deal is I want everyone just to have a fucking great time. And it sucks when somebody's like peeing on everyone's parade, But hey, that's your department. I'll let that be your job. So.
Well, I can tell by the crunch I'm going to have to cut all that shit out anyway. All right, here's the next question here. This one's from Sergio. What are some of the bloodiest, goriest movies in existence? The kind of stuff that makes Saving Private Ryan look like a kid's movie. Oh man,
Punisher Warzone.
Punisher.
No.
That's a general. I'll say the same thing I've always said. Cannibal Holocaust.
I'll say
Dead Alive.
No. Well, that's tough because he's talking serious gore. Or like,
hey man, now look, we asking questions. You got to stop crunching on that shit, all right?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Pork rinds and shit.
Damn.
In your living room. What are you gonna say?
Oh, is he talking like serious gore, like a Saving Private Ryan, or just any kind of gore?
Any kind.
How would Corey know?
Okay,
I would just say it sounds like it's a general question. Any kind.
I would say the most recent one I've seen that is just hardcore gore to the max. Machine Girl.
Okay, damn, yeah. I got to see that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do 2 more here because we're getting through them quick. All right. So I moved from England to Ireland, and one day in school we were watching The Wind That Shakes the Barley, which I thought was brilliant, but couldn't help but feel slightly guilty at the same time. Anyways, my question is, are there any films that make you proud, ashamed to be an American? No. It's not my fault. I didn't fucking make the movie.
Right.
No. There's some movies that for a split second make you look at your race or your nationality and you make you shake your head like, my fucking people, boy. Soul Plane would be that movie for me.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the thing you have to understand about being an American, it's like, there's that tendency to make us rally around the flag and love America and don't talk shit about us. But for the most part, this is a huge country where everybody's spread out, and geographically, everybody thinks differently. I mean, it's a lot more tribal, so it's really hard to feel something that encompasses all of America that you all identify and agree with.
I would love to see a movie where the Americans are the bad guys. I think the last movie I saw was one of the Godzilla movies where the Americans were portrayed as the bad guys. As far as I can't remember if they had some experiment that went crazy that created some monster, but it was interesting to see the Americans as the bad guys in that one film. I wish I could remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. And I was just thinking about that. We've had movies where the Americans are the bad guys, but we've always had good Americans to balance it out. What was that movie? What's the term for holding somebody in detention without against any kind of constitutional rights?
Oh, that one with Reese Witherspoon?
With Jake Gyllenhaal and Reese Witherspoon. I mean, the American government was seen as really bad in that. So.
That's right.
So, but then again, like I said, we had victims who were Americans too. So,
right.
I mean, you talk about flat out like Americans going in like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's see here. We'll do one more. What?
Team America.
No. The Kevin Costner, Dancing with Wolves.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't the Americans. That was the white people. The Americans, the actual Americans were the Native Americans. So
yeah. That made me hate white people.
Okay. Let's see here. All right, we'll do one more here. Sorry.
One more for the kids.
Oh, that's the one I did. I just moved from England. Let's see. Moving down. Great question for let's do this. It says Moya.
We'll be the judge of that.
Yeah.
Okay, Moya. My man Moya. This guy is pretty cool. Him and I have religious discussions that are pretty tame.
Oh,
okay.
Boy.
Yeah, he's actually a really good guy, man.
Moral oral?
Yeah.
Well, his whole thing is he says you're an atheist, but I understand I'm a Christian. I just want you to know that I think you're a good guy regardless of that, and here's my opinion.
Regardless of the fact that you're going to hell.
Let me tell you how God can save you.
You know what? He's actually a really cool guy, though. And
he cares about you.
And I am proud to read his question here. Yes. Moya says, I was curious if there was any year that the winner for Best Picture of the wait, hold on. Okay, this is what I was read. I'm gonna read it like it's written here, and you blame me.
That's all you can do.
Don't blame me if you can understand it. I was curious if there was any year that the winner for Best Picture of the year really upset you with the choice. Okay, I think did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay, for me, 1998, when Shakespeare in Love beat out Saving Private Ryan, that was especially frustrating. 2000 wasn't much better when Gladiator beat out Erin Brockovich, Traffic, and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So was there anything that the Academy did that made you throw your the shoe at the TV. Man, they do that all the
well,
time.
Well, it's funny because he wouldn't like my answer because that year I was excited that Shakespeare in Love won. I thought it was. I mean, Saving Private Ryan for the first 20 minutes is an awesome movie, and the rest of it is good. It's okay. Yeah. But I thought Shakespeare in Love was a masterpiece. So I loved it.
I'm with him.
Won.
I saw Shakespeare in Love, and I remember you saying you loved it and it was great.
Yeah.
I went in there and I was like, I really do not like this movie very much.
So you didn't even like it?
No, I didn't.
Even I saw it. I thought it was a good film, but I just
I thought it was the best.
I'm not arguing with that. I mean, I remember you said you loved it, and that was cool. But I just said if I had to like take sides, I'd be like, yeah, I kind of was upset that Saving Private Ryan didn't win. I thought technically it was a better movie. I thought I just didn't fall for the gimmick that was in Shakespeare in Love, and that Shakespeare went around and saw all these incidents like, oh, this is the inspiration for my play. Now that's just me,
right? I see. I didn't see it as much as like we're in Forrest Gump, where it was bringing the movie down. I just saw it as being like a playful, like kind of throwaway because it being a comedy and all.
Yeah, well, a lot of people
I found it forgivable.
Hey, look, I'm in the minority, man. People love that movie. I mean, hey, won Best Picture, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it did something right.
I say fuck the Academy. I refuse. I don't care about the Academy at all. I think. I just don't like the whole process of it. I think the films that they pick usually are wrong. I just don't care for it anymore. I refuse to partake in it. I refuse to hang out at the parties with the Academy Awards and everyone's stupid list. I just think the whole process, the whole idea of it is stupid.
I think it's a fun event, but I don't know why anybody takes it seriously.
Yeah. And
people do. I mean, the thing is, people do. People have parties about it.
Sometimes it's a reason to get together.
It's a reason to have a party.
It is a reason to have a party, but just the idea of it, and half the times the movies I like aren't even mentioned.
Because to me, like the idea of Gladiator winning Best Anything is ridiculous.
And and see, it
doesn't seem honest.
That's another question where Academy Awards have been going on for years.
Yeah,
and at some point in your life that you've been watching, I mean, Academy Award has been going on longer than any of us have been alive here. So at some point in your life when you've been watching it, you're going to say, I'm disappointed with that decision.
Right.
Because it's all based on opinion, like we said.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, look, and the thing, here's something that really disappoints me, or has ruined anything that I hold important for awards of any kind. And you're going to laugh at me, Coles, but it goes back to animated films and animated TV shows, because that's where I think any kind of award show at all shows its flimsiness. The Emmys won't nominate something like The Simpsons unless it's in a category where you have other shows like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something like that, because it's an animated show. Because at one time they tried to nominate it as just great writing, and people threw a fit and said a cartoon is being nominated in the same category as a serious show. And it's like, it's the writing that speaks for itself, not the fact that it's an animated show or anything like that. They did the same thing with the Academy Awards. Beauty and the Beast was nominated. That's the first motion picture to be nominated for Best Picture. First animated motion picture to be nominated for Best Picture. After that, somebody threw a tissy fit and said, that doesn't make sense to me. You're going to nominate a cartoon along with all these other serious movies. And hey, look, if you ask me, Beauty and the Beast was a contender. It really was one of the best movies I'd seen that year.
How much work goes into something
especially
like
that. And so now we get serious films such as Persepolis being nominated in the same category with some other movie in the same caliber as Madagascar, which makes no fucking sense.
I don't like like I said, I don't like the process. I don't like the idea behind the process. I don't care if it's been around for 100 years. It's something that needs to die, because obviously the movies that are nominated they're not even out yet. They're movies that the people who pay to see these don't see.
Right.
And I just don't understand the process, and I don't care about the tradition of it. It's something that needs to die, and something else needs to be created. I mean,
unless you get one.
The only thing I care. I mean, what's the awards where movies are voted by their peers, by other actors?
People's Choice?
Yeah. Is that what that is?
We got the Actors Guild or something like that. Screenwriters Guild.
Yeah.
That
seems to be, to me at least, more interesting because it's voted on by the peers.
Yeah.
The people who are involved and all that.
Well,
but as far as like what it's like, is the closest thing do I have to get as far as a real people's opinion is fucking the MTV Music Awards. Or the MTV Movie Awards. I mean, and the fucking Nickelodeon. I mean, those seem to be more honest than the goddamn Academy sometimes. It's ridiculous, but
I'm not going to trust something where Mr. and Mrs. Smith is winning for Best Picture.
But the thing is, people are dumb. Yeah, people are dumb to the fact that it's. I honestly would like to hear what the average person thinks is a great movie.
Nah,
you know?
The average person keeps Dancing with the Stars on TV.
But see, that's a problem.
But the same thing is that at least I can live with that. Well, I don't like the fact that these highbrow movies are getting praised by people who just don't watch them.
I would say, compared to something like the People's Choice Awards, and you're going to hate me for saying this, I would say that that's more credible than somebody who's nominated like Mr. and Mrs. Smith or anything like that. I mean, because they are looking at some movies that do have some sort of artistic integrity, where something like, well, we just churned this out for money. The average person's going to say, that's Best Picture. You know?
Right. Transformers would win everything.
Yeah. The point here is that it's all based on opinion. So there's not going to be one award ceremony that's not going to be flawed.
Yeah, you can't have a true best of based on something that's artistic, because it is all opinion. I mean, you can do like, okay, which movies made the most money, because that's monetary, that's math. Yeah. You can add that up.
Exactly.
Anything short of that, you just can't do it.
It was just like I said. Even learning the process of how these films are nominated and who's actually putting in the votes. That whole process, as far as people getting screeners, people voting, people getting screeners and letting their kids or relatives watch them, and then have them tell them, okay, which one do I pick? I mean, I don't know if that's a big myth or something about how those movies are picked as far as Best Picture and stuff. But just hearing the rumors of how they are picked, it's just like,
well, that actually would go back to your initial idea of having regular Joes picked. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that. I guess the idea that the films that are being nominated, that's my issue. The films that are being nominated are films that nobody's watching, nobody's seeing. I mean, that's my argument, honestly.
I mean, I don't know. So many. See, that's the thing. So many these opinions based on ceremonies based on opinions. I mean, everybody's gonna have different ones.
I just don't buy into it. Personally, I just don't like it.
No, it's not that I don't like it. Like I said, I'm the type of person where I like to have an excuse to go drink and just do a bunch of shit. Mm-hmm. But as far as it's not perfect. I don't take it seriously, and even when I'm watching the awards, I cease to get excited anymore now because I mean, it's just
a big production. I mean, you can tell who's going to win just by what the sets look like.
Well, that's what cracked me up. The year of Titanic, the whole set was made up like the Titanic. It's like, gee, I wonder if the fix is in on this award.
But every now and then they throw you a curveball, and that's what's interesting. Like that year that 3 6 Mafia won for best song, and then 3 6 Mafia came on stage at the Academy Awards, and you could hear them. Yeah, I want to say thank you to my nigga Mickey Dickey out there and my hoe out there. And people in the Academy Awards. You can see guys like holding their purses and holding their wives and grabbing their wallets and shit. I'm like, fuck this.
And you know what? That year when I saw that happen, that was the only thing that held my interest. Was seeing the reactions off those people. I'm like, you know what? They should throw in a curveball. Like whoever organized this was a genius, and that was the only time I ever gave a shit.
And they had the musical number where they had like a prostitute walking and dancing and shit. Yeah, exactly. For Hustle and Flow.
Like, give a little back to the people that actually went and saw that movie, and like give them their props. Like
But you know what? I will say this much. To its credit, you do feel really good for that small movie that does get recognized and needs it. Yeah. And that's why the only reason why I would say that we need something like that. Right. That year, a really small movie that probably wouldn't be noticed had the Academy not said something was it was Once, and the movie got recognized for its song. Is that the name of the movie? Once with
the guy singing.
Yeah, they make the song. Yeah, and that was it was a really good movie, small movie. Yeah. Normally would have been shuffled along and nobody would have heard of it really. Right. But hey, it got lucky. Academy Award made it big, and so it has its good points and bad points. Right. No, but really nothing to take serious. So I agree with you there. Right. All right, I'm tired of talking to you, son. I got to go Christmas shopping. What did you get a robot? Look at your hat. Look at your hat and put it on
in
your.
In this case, I'd say a personality upgrade.
Yeah, angry boy.
I know, boy.
I know. I'm sorry. I apologize to Movie Lord. It's funny how I think what happened was that moment that he wrote that. You never heard me come on the show and complain about that. But at the same time, it's just like when I think about that, and I'm like, what would give somebody the balls to like just come out and just call you out out of no reason that like you give them no excuse to do that, and they just do it just because they can. I guess that's what ate at me, and it just made me flip out.
Man,
because you get Corey, I will say You are absolutely right. That is why you're doing everything right on this site, and I appreciate you for it. That's what keeps me having a job. Because if I did have this site, if I did get to control it
left and right,
you guys would be gone, and it'd be turned into a porno site, and that's it.
All of you who aren't hot chicks, you're out of here.
Exactly.
I would love to put you in charge for a day.
Oh, don't do that, Corey,
come back.
please.
What happened?
Don't do that.
Spill is on fire.
Don't do that. No, the world would burn. No, don't do that.
Hey, look, man, listen. It's just like when you have a classroom of people.
Right.
Everybody is a good person. You get that one bad person, you know them.
Right.
You get your bad people are your spammers. Your bad people are the ones who come in and just continuously every day find trouble with people.
Right.
And your other people are the ones who sexually harass other people and do things of that nature. We haven't really had that much of a problem. I think it's because, and this isn't me giving myself credit,
it's
but
because we're cool.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think it's because we're patient and look, like I said, when people come to me with that crazy shit, most of the time I'm just like, I think you're a great person.
Yeah.
Tone it down a little bit until the next time.
Right. And I tell you what, though, I mean, we do have a format where we can be very vocal, and it's really easy for me to go off because I know there's no consequences.
Yeah.
I mean, for all I know, this kid would see me and he'd fucking play basketball with me and fucking throw me up against the curb and throw me at a bus. So I'd be powerless, but I'm just talking shit.
We really do.
That's all I'm doing. I'm just talking shit, and I don't mean I don't want to scare that kid off. And I'm not looking to kick anybody off. I haven't done it. I can't do it.
Okay, so Movie Lord, if you come to Austin, the co-host is going to buy you lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Hey,
people who know me know me.
Yeah,
and I tolerate a lot of things. I tolerate a lot.
I know
of things
you do.
A lot of people.
I just love when you go off, and it's just rare. It's just rare that you get this passionate about shit.
It is funny because he
it is a train that doesn't stop.
It doesn't. You lost yours on that. Obviously, that kid did something you pissed you off.
He did it. He did that one. He did that one thing, and it's just like it's like going back and reliving a car wreck. And I'm just like,
look at him,
that motherfucker.
There's smoke coming out of him behind.
I'm glad you brought him up, Corey.
No, Movie Lord. Now you know me. I've been very patient with you. I'm patient with everybody. Look, we have a great community here. I do not want to go in and ruin that because
no. I'm not here to do that.
I cannot afford to go in and be shitty to people. Right. I just can't, and it's very sincere. I like people. I think, like you said, people have accused me of being nice to a fault, and I'll accept that. But it's better than being pissed off.
No,
all the time,
you're absolutely right. Because, and the thing is, like I said, hey, I give you credit on that. You know me.
Ass.
You know me. I mean, hey, I don't have any of the problems that Leon has with people. I mean, I don't get any of that.
Man, I'm nice to everybody, but people just
and people jump on your ass, and for some reason they don't do it to me. I guess because I'm a robot. I don't know why. And I don't even care. I'm glad that I just still get lots of hot women on my goddamn comment page. And thank you, ladies, for being out there. And I will do my best to protect them from kids like Movie Lord.
There we go.
But no, I'm kidding. Movie Lord, I'm fucking with you, dude. I'm sure if we met, we would fucking get along great. And
here we go.
There you go.
Look at it. He wants to crunch.
Damn it.
Is
that I know?
I know. I came way across the room over here to eat a pork rind.
And black people and pork rinds. I don't know what it is.
Man, I don't even eat pork rinds. I don't eat that much. I don't eat that much meat. But when he brought these in, I smelled that and I was like, I got to have one.
Like, that shit is laced with cocaine or heroin or something. I don't get it. Leon can't stop looking at that goddamn bag.
I don't buy pork rinds. I don't ever eat pork rinds. The only time I eat them is like when I see him with them.
I know. And it's funny how he keeps on eating regardless that we're doing a goddamn show. I don't give a shit.
He loves them. All right. The black man's crack is pork rinds, besides crack. And, there we go.
So is that another let's do this? Cause
I guess so. Are you exhausted?
I am.
No, we're done, man. We're done. No,
we're finished.
Yeah, so I told you, you gotta be ready to hang, man.
You gotta hang with us, dude. We get all kinds.
We do this all night.
Yeah, we're trying to solve world's problems. We're trying to solve Movie Lord's problems. You got your problems with the pork rind.
We do this all the time.
Yes.
You guys are like a couple of Lionel Richies over here all night long.
We do
all
this
night long.
Leon, I don't know if you've been told this, but you know this whole time you've been hanging out with us, you could have watched The Dark Knight at least twice.
I love it. See, you talk about, man, I want to do do this with y'all. Let me come and record. And and look at him, me and Cole, she's still like, man, we talking more. Let's talk about Osama bin Laden. Now. Where is he? And you up here like, fuck, man.
Leon, this is not Leon.
I can see that for me to come back for another one of these, I'm gonna have to go out in the woods and train hitting the bamboo poles and the trees, and running in the snow next to Ivan Drago.
You gotta go through some Rocky training.
You gotta put those knives underneath your armpits with the jugs of water.
Come on, Rock, you can do it.
Damn, boy, this has been a long one.
Anyway, Movie Lord, we love you.
All right, Movie Lord, we do love you, man.
You were the star. You were the star of this show. All right,
everybody just chill out.
He's gonna be so pissed.
I know.
No, he's not. Hey, he has a heart of gold.
He does, man.
I think I'm gonna put up a watch.
I would just tell Movie Lord, don't get mad at me because I already have a long list of arch enemies, and I got no room for anybody else.
He's one of my favorites. I like that guy. He's been. I tell you what. I'm gonna end with this. Movie Lord has been here since the beginning.
That's true.
Yeah, he really has, and he hasn't left yet. That guy, that's why I'm saying he's a contributor. He's not a fucking average member, man. He comes in and does shit. So, including pissing people. But no, he
does a lot.
Man, we're fucking with you, man. All right, y'all. We're getting out of here. We're gonna let Leon go because he's about to fucking collapse. Yes. Those pork rounds fucking with you. That's not us. That's what you get. All right, y'all. Good night.
All right.
Good night.
See you, punks.